What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the third training day out of 5 for the 15-day first client challenge. And I am glad that you're here because attention, focus, time is like currency, and you are spending it in the right place if your goal is to get your first copywriting client and start making money with copywriting. So in today's lesson, we are going to be talking about follow-up, and follow-up is the key, okay? The money is in the follow-up. Follow-up is simply a multiplier to your outreach, meaning if you're not really doing any outreach, and obviously follow-up's not going to do anything for you, but if you are doing a good amount of outreach and you are also supplementing with a lot of follow-up, man, the sky's the limit, okay? So we're just going to get right into the presentation that we have here, how to maximize your outreach with follow-up so that you can, of course, get more or your first copywriting client. So there's some things to note when it comes to follow-up. So follow-up is not really all that different from outreach. The big thing is to make sure that you're doing it and to make sure that you're doing it correctly. And of course, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that right here. So the follow-up philosophy is, first of all, why do we follow up at all? To get premium clients or the higher clients or the better clients or any good clients that are really worth getting, it will require you to follow up 9 times out of 10, right? Meaning just like 90% of the time follow-up is going to be required for you to get the good clients. This is because business owners will either not see your initial message, get sidetracked, or simply aren't interested at the time. And this is absolutely huge. Okay, so sidetracked, right? Look, everybody's busy, especially business owners. Okay, so they're dealing with 1,000 things at once. A lot of the times they have their team in their inbox, so they're not even checking it themselves. It gets swept under the rug, and then they kind of forget about it, and then they come back, and then they forget about it, and then they come back. My video editor, Aaron, who's editing this video right now, what's going on, Aaron, followed up with me a whole bunch of times over a couple of months just because it wasn't really the right time, and it wasn't really the right time, then it wasn't really the right time, and I was like, you know what, I need a video editor right now. So then I brought Aaron on, and the rest is history, right? But essentially, this is how it works, okay? So either sidetracked or aren't interested at the time. Here's the thing, is that you could outreach to somebody and you could say, hey, do you need somebody on your team for marketing this, that, or the other thing? And they could say no, or they could say not right now. And you take that on the chin and say, okay, dope. Come back 3 months later, they could very well actually need you. In fact, I've actually outreached to people to the point where I'm like, hey, do you need this right now? They say no. And then a month later, they actually reach back out to me and they say, hey, I need you now, right? So sometimes it just ain't the right time. And this is another really great lesson that I'm not sure if I have it here or not, so I'm just going to give it to you right now. You have to have a strong sense of FDB. Now, FDB is a term coined by my man, Andrew Tate. It's a little bit vulgar, so I won't repeat it. If you know what it is, you know what it is. You know, if you know, you know. But I'll just give you the actual meaning, like the lesson behind it. Here's the expression that I got from my mentor, Matthew. You're not going to sell a burger to a vegan. You just ain't going to do it, right? You're not going to sell ice to an Eskimo. You're not going to sell yourself to somebody who simply doesn't need you. And you don't want to work with people who actually don't need you right now. The goal is to actually find people that need you. So you have to have a strong sense of, okay, whatever, next. Right? So if you outreach to 20 people, those 20 people aren't looking for a copywriter right now or somebody to work for them, then you got to take it on the chin and just go to the next one. Don't get emotional about it. Don't ask to the skies, to the heavens, like, what did I do wrong? Like a lot of times people send me one outreach message. They say, what did I do wrong? Well, maybe that person just didn't want to work with you at the time, right? Some people just are not open for business. Just clearly not open for business. It's like when you go hitting on girls and then, you know, who knows, maybe she has a boyfriend. Right? And you just, no matter what combination of words you say, you're not going to be able to get her number or go on a date with her. And this is the same with sales. And it's the same with outreach. Exactly. Okay. So sometimes follow up is just not going to get you there. Right? So with those people, you want to stop following up. You don't want to follow up consistently on somebody who just hasn't even opened you. Because what are they going to do? They're going to open up their message and then they're going to see a long laundry list of outreaches that you've sent them and you've not even replied. Now that looks like weird, creepy, stalkerish, desperate. Okay, so that's not what you want to do either. But of course, we're going to get into the specifics here. Next is to understand touch points and how powerful they are. The more you see something, the more familiar you get with it, building trust and likelihood that you will purchase. Okay, so touch points. The easiest way to describe touch points is to ask yourself why McDonald's still advertises. Why does McDonald's still advertise? You would be hard pressed to find somebody who doesn't already know what McDonald's is. So why are they advertising still? The reason being is because they want to stay what is called top of mind. When you are top of mind in your client's head, if they ever are to need something, if they ever are to need your services, you are going to be the first person that they go to. They don't want to go to Fiverr. They don't want to go to Upwork and try to hire some dude from overseas for 32 cents an hour. They want the dude who has been harassing them, not actually harassing them, but who's been hitting them up in their email inbox, in their Instagram DMs consistently over like a month. Right? They're going to go with you because you're the person who's already giving them value, already showing that you know your stuff, and you already have a profile there that they can check out. So they're going to be like, well, now I do need somebody. This dude's top of mind. He's added a whole bunch of touch points, right? Now you're familiar with him. Now you've built trust. So I guess I'll give him a shot. And that is essentially why, one reason why follow-up is so important. But how do we follow up? First of all, log your initial follow-up. So when you follow up with somebody, you want to track these sorts of things. This is so that you can easily keep track of warm versus cold leads. And this is extremely important. So let me just explain warm versus cold leads really quickly. A cold lead is somebody who hasn't replied to you yet. A warm lead is somebody who has replied to you. A hot lead is somebody who's agreed to a call, but they haven't scheduled yet. Those are essentially the three that we can focus on. And the thing is, that when people do things like they reply to you or they talk to you and then they just ghost you, I guarantee they just got sidetracked or either it's not the right time. But those are the people you should be focusing on. Don't focus on the people who haven't even read your messages yet or replied, because chances are they just don't check that inbox. If you hit them up on email, maybe they just don't check their email. So you can be hitting them up and hitting them up and hitting them up and they'll just never check it. Right? And the same goes with Instagram as well. So you want to spend the most of your time nurturing the warm and hot leads, right? Bring cold leads to warm leads to hot leads, and try to close those hot leads and get them to schedule a call, right? And this is how you follow up with people. So I'm just going to give you a really quick example. If you are outreaching to someone and they say, yeah, sure, let's hop on a call. You send them the Calendly link and they don't go ahead and schedule. That's simply because they got sidetracked, right? Because to normal people, this does not sound like hard work at all. But to a business owner, you just got done messing with 101 different things, okay? You had to mess with your email marketing. You had to mess with your sales pages. You have to mess with your marketing. You have to mess with your profiles, okay? Your head's literally everywhere. So now they're faced with another task. Click on the Calendly link, see what their schedule is, combine it with your schedule, see what time works, and then they have to schedule that time and make sure that they get reminded so that they can show up. Right? That is some friction right there. That's a lot of things to do. So they're going to get sidetracked, put it off till later, and then forget about it. So what you need to do there is keep following up consistently. If you don't follow up, then chances are they'll just forget about you altogether. Okay? So you need to follow up, especially with people like those, because that is how you start closing a lot of sales calls. Next, you're going to want to wait 3 days and send a message bump. So once you send your initial outreach and they reply, for example, but then they ghost you, you're going to want to wait 3 days and then send a bump. A bump is simply, hey, just thought I'd send a quick reply to bump this back to the top of your messages. That's it, right? Something like a quick reminder. Now, you don't want to just always go back and reference your initial outreach because that would just be annoying. Like, hey, did you see my message? Hey, I think you forgot to reply. Hey, I messaged you, but I think you didn't see it. I'm going to message you again and just make sure you saw it, right? Saying that over and over and over again gets really annoying. When you do these, you want to change them up after the initial message bump. We're going to get into that more, but if never replied or just left on scene, send one final follow-up from a different angle, okay? So 3 days after your initial message, you send them a bump. Hey, did you see my message? 3 days after that, you can send one more final follow-up from a different angle. What does this mean? So when you send an outreach, that's one angle, right? And then if you follow up, you can essentially just use one of the other outreach methods to come from a different angle. So let's say you sent them an email and it didn't work, right? You sent them an email, they didn't reply. You send them one more message bump, they still didn't reply. You might send them one more email from a different angle, right? So maybe you'll add something a little bit more funny, something more comedic, and then maybe you'll just send them a Loom video anyways. Maybe you'll send them just something from a completely different thought point. The reason being is because every client is different. Every business owner is different. Every entrepreneur is different. They might respond to different messaging. Your initial message might not have hit. So if you send it from a completely different angle, almost sounding like it's from a different person or to a different person, then it has a much better chance of getting them to reply. If replied to, but ghosted, keep following up and circling back with different angles, essentially until the end of time, right? Because you know that person actually checks their messages. That's all you need to know that they are susceptible to your outreach, okay? And that's all it really takes. Outreach to the people who are susceptible to your outreach. And then if rejected, leave the lead alone for at least a couple months and then circle back, okay? So essentially circling back means you leave them away for a month or two, right? Maybe even longer, maybe shorter, whatever, but you leave them alone for a good period of time. And I will tell you this right now, my friends, Circling back has got me so many actually very, very high quality clients. Okay. Because they see, okay, this person is not going to go away. This person is actually interested in outreaching to our business. And it makes them feel special. It makes them feel like you're not the one outreaching to everybody out here and coming back to them every couple months and always outreaching to them. So they must be special. So, and you're not the desperate dude who's just spamming outreaches to everybody, getting rejected and then leaving, right? So if rejected, as in they say, no, not right now, or no, we already have somebody for that, things like these, you leave them alone for at least a couple months and then you circle back, okay? If they replied but ghosted you, same thing. Send a couple outreaches like 3 days apart, and then if they go completely cold, just circle back in a couple months, okay? This is the secret sauce. Next, how to maximize your follow-up. We know why it's important. We know how to do it, but how do we really hit that next level? First of all, use different angles. This is what I was talking about before. Every one of your leads is going to be different. That's why not all of them will be responsive to the same messaging. Maybe try a funny follow-up, then a Loom follow-up, then a final message follow-up coming up soon. Okay, I have a whole bunch of templates for follow-ups that I'm going to give you guys, which again is done for you. I love giving you guys these resources because it makes it literally as easy as possible for you guys to go out here and win. Okay, and that is my number one priority, is making sure that you guys are actually out here winning and getting the best chances to get clients and get money as soon as possible. Next up, add as much value as you possibly can. This is one that so many people miss out on. If a lead has already opened or read your messages, then it's safe to say there's a good chance they'll see your follow-ups. This means that no effort will be wasted. So it's important to give lots of value in the form of ideas, solutions, and videos. So if they're doing a promo right now, they say, hey, I saw that you're doing a promo that's like you're 70% off your high ticket program. I came up with some extra ways that you could really maximize your promo. Would you like to hear them? Something very simple. Or if it's a video, you could just say, hey, recorded this quick video to give you some critiques on your recent emails. And that's it. Next, have a strong sense of next, right? On to the next or /FDB. You'll never sell meat to a vegan, no matter how hard you try. Be logical about the situation and move on to the next one with enthusiasm, okay? So don't get discouraged when you get a bunch of no's. Don't get discouraged when people are ghosting you or whatever, okay? That's just part of the game. Some follow-up examples. Very nice, very juicy ones coming up. So outreach, repurpose. So like I said, every outreach method used in the last lesson can be repurposed into a follow-up. And then here's a couple other follow-ups that I created. I have a whole video on my channel about follow-ups, multiple videos about follow-ups. You can go check those out after this one if you want more nitty-gritty, but this one has most of everything. And also you can get all of these resources inside of the Copy Starter Kit for free down in the link in the description. Also, the links to all of this will be in the description. I mean, guys, this is literally all done for you. You barely really have to think, just innovate a little bit when it comes to mixing and matching certain outreaches and just changing it enough so that it's actually yours. Okay, that's what you want to do. So name a competitor follow-up. Hey, I noticed competitor as in the top person in their niche, right? So if I was outreaching to fitness dudes, I would say, hey, I noticed that Brandon Carter, for example, is killing it with these emails. And you can show them an email, send them an email, whatever. You can also repurpose all these into like looms, right? So if you're doing a loom, you could show them Brandon Carter's page and you can say, look at the emails he's doing. These are probably making a lot of money. And I noticed it didn't seem like you were implementing the same strategy. I thought it may be something that could lead to a pretty big boost in revenue for you. What do you think? Is this something you've tried before? Right? Very easy. You could do this on DM. You could do this on email, right? It doesn't really matter. Next is case study or testimonial. All right, this one's big, of course, if you have some experience. If you don't yet, don't worry, because this 15 days will most likely get you the experience you need to actually have something under your belt to showcase to people. So, as I was saying, hey, name, I was recently able to build, client name, a passive email revenue funnel that started generating cash in about 8 days. I made a quick video about how I could do the same for you. Can I send it over? Right? So, essentially, what result you got them? I made a quick video showing you how I could do the same for you. Can I send it over? Notice how simple these are as well. These are not super complicated. These are not super difficult to come up with. Also, this is a typo simply because my cat is literally stepping all over my keyboard lately, but I digress. So the copy comedian. So subject line. I wasn't sure if I should do this name. So this is an OG, right? And I use this example because, again, it's just an example, right? I don't want you guys to go out and Photoshop the exact same thing and send it to people. This is just an example of a follow-up that I might send. Hey, name, I received your recent email entitled the subject line, and this happened. So notice, personalized, and then also kind of witty, funny, cheeky, whatever. The devil on my shoulder told me to save my time and leave you alone. even though I noticed something in your emails that could be costing you a small fortune. But the angel reminded me that all the times I previously helped businesses increase their sales rate from email by over 15% with some small tweaks. So I thought I'd share with you my temperature matching strategy. Unlike sending every subscriber the exact same email, like the majority of businesses do, it works by taking advantage of the low-hanging fruit and quickly converting the warm leads, and then builds trust with the ice-cold leads and warms them up so they can be converted within a couple weeks. It only takes a few days to see increased sales, although it sounds stupidly simple. It brings in thousands of dollars per month more in email revenue every time I've tried it. Should I send it over to you? Ciao, Tyson4D. Now, a few things to know. First and foremost, you see I'm talking about some things that are a little bit not complicated, but business-y, right? I'm talking about warm-up leads and ice-cold leads through the funnel and these sorts of things. I was outreaching to biz op guys and finance guys and business coaches. That's why this language works, right? If I was outreaching to, again, fitness guys or dudes who are not as business oriented, I wouldn't use the words like leads or warm, right? So adjust the language to your niche that you're actually reaching out to. That's another thing that's super, super important. And another reason why just copying and pasting this sort of stuff does not work, okay? But hopefully this should get the juices flowing as to, what an appropriate level of comedy is when you're sending a follow-up. So notice I don't go on and on and on about something really stupid, right? I just kind of integrate it into the actual outreach. And again, a really, really easy way for you guys to actually change these outreaches is to copy and paste them inside of ChatGPT and just say, make this better, make this different, make this funnier, make this longer, make this whatever, right? Just add different adjectives until it is exactly how you want it. Then you can copy and paste that and start outreaching, okay? Guys, this stuff is absolutely stupid simple. You literally barely have to think out here. I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you all the secret sauce. Next is the omni-channel follow-up approach. So you need to follow up on different platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, email, etc. Whatever messaging platform you can get from them, you have to outreach to them on, okay? This gives you the best chances of them actually seeing your messages. Next of all is the breakup, okay? And this one actually gets so many replies, but almost nobody does it. People want what they can't have. Let them know that this will be your final time outreaching to them and give them permission to say no. So what does this look like? They might have messaged you back, right? They ghosted you. You sent them more follow-ups. Then they went completely cold. The breakup follow-up is simply something like, hey man, so I sent you this proposal. You talked about it like you might have been interested in hearing it. Then I sent you a couple follow-ups and it looks like you're not responding. No worries. If this isn't something you want right now, let me know. But I'm just saying this because this will be the final time of me following up with you because I don't want to bug you. That's it for now. Peace. Right? Something like that. So then they're like, okay, well, this dude's actually saying that I can say no. He's really actually giving me permission to say no. So even if they do say no, a no is way better than a ghost, because when they ghost, you're probably going to follow up more just in case. When they say no, now you can know for a fact that they don't want your services right now. Circle back with them in a month or 2 or 3, and you can spend more of your time on the warm leads or getting your warm leads to hot leads, cold leads to warm leads, like I said. Boom. Very simple follow-up examples. Okay, so that's what they look like. Again, I have so much more for you guys. I didn't want to go through every single one because, again, this is all really comes down to taking action, right? Pick something, innovate on it, and go. That's it. Picking what follow-up you should do should not take any more than 2 minutes, really. Like, there's so many options that you guys have. Free follow-up resources. Inside the outreach tracker sheet, available for free in the description, you can track the warmth of each of your leads. Spend most of your time following up with warm leads and leaving the cold ones alone. All right, so that's for free in the outreach tracker sheet that I talked about with you guys the last episode as well. But again, I would bring that up just because there's some follow-up sauce in there as well that you guys should be using. Next is the mandatory action steps. All right, so everything in yellow is mandatory if you want to be entered for the prizes. Again, if you want to hear more about those prizes, check out the pre-challenge video that I did, okay? So perform 5 to 10 outreaches daily on top of your current outreach schedule, all right? So there's one more thing to note when it comes to the prizes is, I need to mention this, guys, we're not super sticklers with what exactly you do, but you just want to verify that you are putting in the effort. So if I say something like do 5 high quality outreaches and this many prospecting and this many follow-ups, I'm not going to be a stickler and be like, nope, you're disqualified because you did different number of things. Like, no, I just want to see that you're doing actual effort. If you come out here and you're doing like, you prospect 2 leads and do 1 outreach every single day, then yeah, you're going to be disqualified because you're not actually working hard. All right. Next is to track the temperature of all of your leads. Okay, this is extremely important. A lot of the times beginners just feel like they can skip steps and they'll still get the result. I'm telling you guys right now, just do all of the steps, man. Just actually do them all. Because what a lot of people do is they like come in and they're like, okay, let me look at the outreach methods. And then they just go willy-nilly outreach and they don't do any tracking sheet. They don't actually prospect. They don't follow up. Like, guys, this stuff is actually important, and none of it is going to work unless you actually implement the whole system together. Next, of course, is submit your daily progress to the Tyson 4D free Discord server in the 15-day challenge chat. Also, we are going to be doing some live events that you guys are going to want to show up to, okay? We're also doing a Q&A and also the live bonus event at the very end where I'm showing you guys how to get multiple premium clients will be done on January 30th. And you're going to want to be there live because I have huge announcements, huge surprises that you're not going to want to miss. Next, of course, to subscribe to the Tyson 4D channel so that you don't miss out on the next training day, which will be January 20th, which is not very far away at all. Anyways, guys, that is it for today. And of course, get out there, take some action, make some money, and I will see you guys in a couple days. Peace.